You are officially a baby crow. Congratulations. But forget any image of a cute little bird. Your arrival into the world is a miracle. It's the beginning of an unpaid internship in hell. You hatch from the egg blind, naked, ugly, like a miniature dinosaur with a giant, disproportionate mouth. You are essentially a noisy stomach with a fragile neck. Your home is a precarious pile of sticks swaying at the top of a tree, totally exposed to wind, rain, and predators. It's not a cradle, it's a disaster launch pad. And you're not alone. You have siblings, and they are not your friends. They are your direct rivals in the fight for survival. The rule in the nest is clear. The loudest, widest gaping mouth gets the worm. It's your first and most brutal lesson in competition. Meanwhile, your parents live a logistical nightmare. Their life boils down to a frantic, nonstop delivery service of insects, worms, and scraps of food. They are exhausted slaves to a bunch of ugly, insatiable monsters, you and your siblings. After a few weeks in this overcrowded, competitive nest, it's time for your first big challenge, leaving home. But don't imagine a glorious flight towards freedom. It's more like being pushed off a building. You are clumsy, your feathers barely work, and you'll probably fall to the ground. And the ground, for a baby crow, is the most dangerous place in the universe. Cats, dogs, cars, curious humans. Everything is a mortal threat. Your parents hover overhead, screaming in panic, trying to protect and feed you as you stumble around like a drunk. This is your adolescence. A weird phase where you're too big for the nest, but too stupid to survive on your own. You spend your time following your parents, screaming and begging for food nonstop. You are officially a nuisance. But this is where your real education begins. Your parents don't teach you to sing. They teach you to hate. They show you which human is dangerous, which cat is too fast. They effectively download into your brain the entire list of resentments and traumas they've accumulated. Your education isn't about the beauty of the world. It's an intensive course on how to be paranoid for the rest of your life. And this happens because of your huge number of neurons in the pallium, the brain region. Well, at least that means you'll be the most powerful bird in the world, right? Of course not. Your life is going to be garbage, literally. And the worst part is, you are intelligent enough to perfectly understand every single second of your misery. Your brain is your curse. It's gigantic for your body, with processing power that rivals a chimpanzee or a 7-year-old human child. You have the mental hardware to be a genius, a philosopher, a strategist. So, what do you do with this incredible brain? You use it to rummage through trash. That's it. Evolution gave you the mind of an Albert Einstein and the menu of a vulture. Your daily routine is to use your advanced cognition to calculate the best angle for pecking open a garbage bag, or to plan how to steal a French fry from a pigeon. While a dumber, and therefore happier, bird simply lives, you are forced to think. You solve complex puzzles every day. And the reward is a piece of moldy bread. It's the equivalent of using a NASA supercomputer to play solitaire. And you know it. Your famous ability to use and create tools isn't a sign of your genius. It's the ultimate proof that your life is unnecessarily hard. A normal bird sees a grub in a hole and gives up. You don't. You have to stop, find a twig, modify it to make a hook, and then finally fish out your lunch. Your ingenuity isn't a luxury. It's a prerequisite for not starving to death. Every tool you create is a monument to your hardship. It's the universe telling you, here's your lunch. Oh, but first you have to invent the spoon. And as if that wasn't enough, they've now discovered that you can count out loud. You don't use this ability to marvel at mathematics. You probably use it to take a detailed inventory of all the misfortunes of your day. 1 caw for the cat that tried to get you. 2 for the pigeons that stole your bread. 3 for the hours you spent trying to open a nut on the asphalt, almost getting run over. Your intelligence doesn't set you free. It traps you in a constant consciousness of your own miserable existence. It's endless mental torture dressed in black feathers. Your genius brain has perfect memory, but you don't use it to remember happy days or a particularly tasty fruit. No, your memory is a grudge-holding machine calibrated with terrifying precision. There was an experiment. A scientist named John Marsluff decided to test this. He used a horrible ogre mask, captured 7 of you, put a band on your leg, and let you go. A small trauma most animals would forget after lunch. But not you. You are a professional grudge holder. The 7 original crows not only remembered the ogre's face perfectly, but proceeded to attack it whenever they saw it. But the madness didn't stop. They became hate preachers. With their alarm calls, they taught their mates, their neighbors, and most shockingly of all, their own children to hate that mask. This isn't just memory, it's the creation of a culture of vengeance. A baby crow learns to hate a face that never did it any harm, all because of an inherited grudge. And how long does this rage last? It lasted 17 years. For nearly 2 decades, you and your entire community spent absurd mental energy to watch for, identify, and punish a single Halloween mask. The only reason the hatred ended was because the original generation that suffered the trauma probably finally died. This inability to forget turns your life into a minefield. You are born with a pre-approved list of enemies from your parents. You inherit their traumas and paranoias. And why does this happen? Because you have episodic memory like humans. That means you don't just remember the fact. You relive the emotion of that moment every time you see the ogre's face. It's not just a memory, it's a flashback. You feel the same panic, the same terror of capture. Over and over. The wound never heals. Your impeccable memory turns the world into a museum of your worst moments, where every face could be an enemy. You aren't a survivor. You are a perpetual victim trapped in a loop of your own traumas, unable to forgive, and worse, unable to forget. Well, to understand the depth of your pit, we need to look at what you eat. And to be direct, your palate is a disgrace. You are classified as an opportunistic scavenger, which is a fancy way of saying you are a specialist in eating trash and corpses. The main delicacy on your menu is carrion, the bodies of other animals, preferably already decomposing by the roadside. You are nature's cleanup crew, but without the salary and with a lot more disgust. But perhaps the dirtiest part of your diet is your specialty in destroying homes. To survive, you become the villain of the bird world. You invade the nests of smaller birds and, without a single ounce of guilt, eat the eggs and defenseless chicks. You aren't a majestic predator like an eagle. You are the neighborhood cradle robber, forced to commit atrocities to avoid starvation. And this disgusting diet, this need to eat the dead and the newborn, has a terrible consequence. Yes, and the consequence is that this horrible diet is the exact reason why everyone has hated you for thousands of years. It's a public relations problem that started in antiquity. Think about it. Ancient peoples didn't have the Discovery Channel. What did they see? They saw you, the black, strange bird, gathering on battlefields to eat dead soldiers. They saw you circling villages where the plague had killed everyone. Their conclusion was obvious, even if wrong. You weren't there to clean up the mess. You were a sign of death, a herald of doom. Your reputation was stained forever because of your lunch. You were cursed in human culture simply because your stomach isn't the least bit picky. And in the modern world, you've only refined the misery. Your intelligence is used in depressing ways to get food. In Japan, you learn to drop nuts into traffic so cars will crack them open. And to avoid being run over, you do this at crosswalks and wait for the light to turn red to retrieve the crushed nut. It's a brilliant, risky, complicated plan for a single nut. Your life is a gigantic effort for a pathetic reward. But your terrible reputation isn't recent. It's mythological. Even the gods in ancient Greece hated you. And the story is ridiculous. Legend has it you were originally a white bird, the pet of Apollo, the god of prophecy. A pretty cool job. Your work was simple. To be the god's private gossip, spying on his girlfriend. You did your job right and came back with the news. She was cheating on the boss. And what did Apollo do? In a fit of rage, he didn't punish the girlfriend. He punished you, the messenger. He cursed you, burning your white feathers until they were black as coal forever. The lesson was clear and brutal. Having the right information is useless if your face is already hated. This fame as a harbinger of doom spread. For the Celts, you were the symbol of the goddess of war and death. In folklore, encountering one of you alone was a sign of bad luck. Your life began with a divine-level smear campaign. And with other animals, it doesn't get better. If gods and humans already hate you, you might think you at least command respect among other birds, right? After all, you are the genius of the skies. Wrong again, and in a humiliating way. In your daily life, you are the victim of organized aerial bullying. Imagine the scene. You, with your primate brain, are quietly contemplating the complexity of the universe when suddenly an alarm sounds. A gang of smaller, infinitely dumber birds, thrushes, jackdaws, magpies, bands together with a single goal, to make your life hell. They dive at you, scream insults in your ear, peck your feathers, and chase you nonstop. The irony is enough to make you cry. The most intelligent creature in the area is forced to flee from a mob of thugs with bird brains. It's the cosmic equivalent of Albert Einstein being chased by a flock of angry pigeons every day on his way to work. Your intelligence and your reputation as a nest robber make you the perfect target. You are too strong to be ignored, but not strong enough to end the tyranny of the majority. Your life is an eternal school recess, and you are always the nerd who gets beat up on the way out. Look, one of your most famous behaviors is the funeral. When one of you dies, a crowd of crows gathers around the body. Humans look and think, wow, how beautiful, they are mourning, paying their last respects. What a joke. This isn't a funeral, it's a crime scene. You aren't mourning, you are working as detectives. The process is tense. You gather around the corpse and start screaming. But these aren't cries of sadness, they are alarm calls. You are analyzing the scene, looking for clues. What killed Joe? Was it a cat, a falcon, that weird human who wears a hat? Unlike a dumb animal that just flees from danger, your genius brain forces you to investigate death. Each dead comrade is a new and stressful case file you need to solve so you won't be next. Your social life is punctuated by these macabre meetings to study mortality. And when you aren't solving murders, when you aren't investigating a colleague's death, you're busy trying to kill each other. Your society is built on gang wars over territory. Your disputes aren't resolved through conversation. They escalate into brutal violence. It's high-speed aerial chases, pecking, feathers flying everywhere. You fight over everything. The best nesting spots, food sources, and pure territorial dominance. And the irony is that well-meaning humans who give you food in their yards are often unknowingly financing your civil war. That yard with easily accessible stale bread becomes a strategic point so valuable that you and your neighbors fight to the death over it. So, your life is an exercise in constant vigilance. You always have to keep an eye on your own relatives who would stab you in the back for a handful of peanuts. Your social life isn't a support network. It's a battlefield where there are no friends, only temporary allies and permanent rivals. Okay, your intelligence has allowed you to do what few wild animals can: thrive in the midst of human chaos. You've traded the forest for the city. It seems like a good trade, but you've just swapped one set of predators for a modern, deadly obstacle course. The city is full of silent killers you don't understand. Mirrored glass windows look like a piece of sky to you. You fly at high speed towards them and game over. City lights confuse you at night, making you crash into buildings and wires. And of course, there's the supreme predator of the suburbs, the domestic cat. That cute little animal is a serial bird killer, and you are on its list. Even your food, the trash, has become a trap. Your diet now includes the toxic byproducts of our society. You eat pieces of plastic, chip bags, cigarette butts. Your body, which evolved to digest a dead rat, doesn't know what to do with a straw. You survived millennia of natural dangers, only to die choking on our garbage. But plastic and windows aren't the worst of city life. The true indignity, the cruelest twist, is that you've become a flying repository for our worst diseases. By living so close to us, you eat our trash in landfills and drink water contaminated with our sewage. And what's in that water and trash? Supermicrobes, bacteria resistant to all the antibiotics we overuse. While trying to survive, you end up contaminated with the very plagues we created. This is the final irony of your adaptation. Your greatest strength, the ability to live alongside us, has become the mechanism of your contamination. The closer you get to us to eat the scraps of our society, the more you absorb our most modern poisons. You survived gods, myths, and predators only to become a walking biological hazard, carrying the consequences of our own medical arrogance. You've adapted so well to our world that you've ended up becoming its flying trash can inside and out. Well, years have passed. If you're no longer a fledgling, you are a veteran. And what does that mean for a being with your mind? It means you are exhausted. Think of everything you carry in your head. Your perfect memory isn't a photo album. It's a detailed archive of every disaster, every near-death experience, every humiliation. You remember the face of every human who threw a rock at you. You remember every cat that lunged at you. You remember the exact sound of the car that almost ran you over 7 years ago. All this knowledge doesn't make you wiser. It makes you paranoid. You can't simply relax on a branch. Your brain is constantly running an antivirus program, scanning every face, every shadow, every sound, looking for threats you've learned to fear. A dumber bird lives in the moment. You don't. You live with the weight of 1,000 past traumas and the anxiety of 1,000 future dangers. Do you understand death? You understand danger, and your brilliant mind never gives you a second of peace. And all this mental exhaustion is trapped in a body that is also tired. Your feathers are no longer so black and shiny. Your flight is perhaps a little heavier. The relentless search for scraps and carrion, day after day, year after year, has taken its toll. This is where your intelligence turns against you in a new way. Your mind is still sharp as a razor. It calculates the speed of the car, the distance to the trash, the risk from the cat. But your body perhaps no longer responds with the same speed. Your mind is a Formula One driver, but it's trapped in an old car that's starting to fail. You watch the younger crows, dumb and full of energy, making stupid mistakes and escaping through pure luck and agility. You, the wise one, are cautious. The weight of all your bad memories makes you hesitant. You land on a power line at dusk, looking at the city lights. You aren't admiring the view. You are processing a lifetime of data, of dangers, of near misses, and of disgusting meals. You are a survivor, but survival has left you drained inside and out, waiting for one last, inevitable mistake. But okay, it's just another normal day. You are hungry. The hunger never goes away. Perched on your wire, your supercomputer brain scans the street below. And there it is, the prize. A half-open fast food bag, thrown near the asphalt, a goldmine of fat and salt. Your mind kicks into action. You analyze the variables in seconds. The speed of the cars, the interval between them, the wind direction. It's a complex physics problem that is routine for you. You've done this thousands of times. You see an opening. The plan is perfect. A quick dive, grab the bag, and fly to a roof to inspect the treasure. The calculation is done. The risk is acceptable. The hunger pinches, and you launch. It's an aerial ballet of precision. The culmination of a lifetime of experience in urban theft. You descend with eyes fixed on the target, body tense, ready for the final maneuver. Everything is running exactly as your brilliant brain predicted. But there is one variable even you couldn't calculate. The variable you didn't predict was yourself. Your tired body. Your genius mind executed the plan perfectly, but your body, worn down by years of misery, couldn't keep up. Your wing didn't beat with the strength it once had. Your reaction time was a millisecond slower. The car you calculated would pass by a hair's breadth didn't pass by a hair's breadth. There is no drama, no slow motion. Just a dull, indifferent thump. The driver probably didn't even notice. You fall onto the asphalt a few centimeters from the trash bag you died for. All your intelligence, your memory for holding a grudge for 17 years, your ability to solve puzzles. It all ends in a simple, stupid fraction of a second. Your mind wrote a check your body couldn't cash. Other crows gather above, but they aren't in mourning. They are doing what they were taught to do. They are investigating, screaming, analyzing, learning from your mistake, adding your death to their vast catalog of traumas. Your final contribution to your species is just one more data point for their paranoia, ending, just like that, as a traffic problem.